What's up, everybody? Welcome to ReelTime for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I'm Josh Williams, and I'm joined here today by Casey McKinnon. We're switching up a little bit here. I do his podcast with him on Just Another Movie Show.
Yeah,
and we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
And today we are giving you our real-time review of A Quiet Place. Now, A Quiet Place was directed by and starred John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Millicent, Simonds, Noah Jupe. I can't pronounce her last name. Do you know me?
I hate names.
And Cade, Woodward. Ryan's usually the one who reads off people. He's better not than I am. But we have Casey here. I wanted to get him on the show. I do his podcast with him, and I thought it'd be nice to kind of get some cross promotions here going.
Absolutely.
So to start off, let's start off with you, Casey.
Sure.
What did you think of A Quiet Place? Give your score first, and then let's see what you think.
Okay, so I'm glad I got to let this one sit for a couple days.
Yeah, me too.
Coming out of the theater, I had all kinds of thoughts, but I sat it at about an 8.
An 8? Okay. Very good.
I enjoyed probably 95% of this movie.
Okay.
The end bumped me a little bit, but...
Oh, you didn't like the ending?
It was fine. It was absolutely fine. It reminded me way too much of Signs.
Okay.
But in the long run, I mean, it was a very well done movie.
Okay.
So.
I liked it a lot. I mean, for some reason, it really gravitated toward me. This reminded me a lot of things like Signs or 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Really loved it. Actually, a lot of great scares. I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
There's only a few things I didn't like. There's only a couple small aesthetics I didn't like. I actually appreciated the end. We're not going to go into spoilers. Nope. So you guys know we're non-spoilers unless we do a spoiler review. But let's just start off right off the bat. John Krasinski's direction in this movie is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, it reminds you like those first-time directors like Jordan Peele or when Joel Edgerton did The Gift. I mean, his direction. This movie was all direction performances. I think you can agree with that.
Yeah, the ability to tell the story that was told basically silent. It was a silent film, and for all of the emotion that he was able to put onto screen without anyone telling you what happened, what led up to this point, what everything that came to just this main story, you understood everything without a word being said, and that is the greatest compliment I can give him on this movie. And not just the emotion was just great. And
not just that, but his acting too. I mean, I knew he was a great comedic actor. And I'm a comedic actor, and I saw him in 13. Oh, what was that action movie he was in? 13 Hours.
Oh yes, yeah.
And he was pretty good in that. Yeah, and he was pretty good for that. I actually liked him, and I was hoping to see him more serious roles, and he came out with this and blew me away. Yeah. But that also adds into Emily Blunt. I mean, I haven't seen her act this well in a very long time.
Yeah, the storyline with her was not what I was expecting coming into the movie, and it just sent my mind ablaze on how are they going to do this, and he covers everything. It's just
I like how you don't really know where these monsters come from.
Yep.
You get some hints about them, you get more storyline about them. But you don't know where they came from. And I kind of like that because movies like Night of the Living Dead do that, where you just don't know how it happened.
You see, like the newspaper clippings around that sort of help tell the story without actually telling you what happened, and it. Just is genius way of moving the story along without actually, taking a whole scene to explain where these things came from. You're just seeing on a newspaper clipping that this is what's causing this, and it worked out perfectly.
Now, let's get into some things you may have not have liked so much without spoiling too much about it. What was something you actually like about it?
I mean, without spoiling it, that's difficult because there was a lot of the end that kind of threw me just a little bit. Like I said, it was really only just a little bit.
Do you think it may have, because the end took a tonal change as far as because I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
But
yeah, I think it sort of shifted and reminded me of other, up to a certain point, this movie was just a standalone...
like a disaster survival film,
And then by the end, in my mind, I was comparing it to several other movies, and I think that sort of bumped me a little bit. That's not to say that it was bad in any way, shape, or form. There's really not a lot negative about this movie at all.
Yeah, me neither. I can't really think of much of as far as a negative. Maybe some sort of aesthetics as far as the creature itself. Like, you get to know a creature a lot, but then when you think about how this creature is hunting, there are certain moments where you wonder, well, because of that shouldn't, that's kind of noise. Because if it's in the trailers, they hunt by sound. That's the only reason they hunt. And when you get to watch movies, there's a couple moments where there's sound taking place, but they don't really come, and you're just like, okay, that kind of derives from it. There was only a couple spots. Besides that, I'll let you say it afterwards. I highly recommend you check this out. If you haven't seen it, get to the theaters. What I loved about it was like the first 2 minutes, your heart is pumping, your adrenaline is on high because it hits you literally in the first two to 5 minutes.
That entire first sequence is just...
and it never lets up. It just keeps going. And then I remember when the movie was done, I had to like sit back in my chair and take some deep breaths because it was just high octane. But
it's a short one. I mean, it's not overly long.
Hour and a half.
It gets everything that it needs to get to in that hour and a half. So I'd say that it's not too long. It's right in the sweet spot. It's one that you should see in the theater. It's a little rough because it's very quiet, so you can hear anything else going on in a theater. Yeah. And I'm very pet peeve about that. But
I hate people talking in theaters.
It's rough because, like I said, 90% of this is
it's all. And I like how it's like sign language,
or just what's going on. So
the sound effects were great in this movie.
And even the little bit of score that was there was done really well. It puts you to feeling the right way. It doesn't force you into feeling a certain way though, which I hate. I hate that. You should feel this way, and the score's telling you that. It's just subtle, and it was really well done.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, get to that theater, check this out. It will be definitely worth your money and your time. All right, folks, that'll do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. What did you think of A Quiet Place? Leave your comments in the section below. Give us your positive, negatives, and your score out of 10. Also, if you like what you watched, then please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel so you can receive more of our various content in the future. Also, I just on ReelTime started on Stardust, the app where you do your quick little 30-second reactions. Check it out; it's a lot of fun. I'm doing kind of a journey where I'm reviewing all the MCU films right before Infinity War. But where can people find you at, Casey, so people want to check you out?
Facebook.com/justanothermovieshow. We do an episode every month. We roll through the movies that came out in the past month. Look forward to what we're looking forward to in the next month. You can find us there. Like I said, it's just once a month, so we're not eating up a bunch of your time.
All right, folks, that'll do it for today. I'm Josh Williams, and this is Casey McKinnon, and thank you for keeping it real with ReelTime.